So if you've been going through a divorce after 40 and everyone told you you'd feel free, but instead you just feel lost, like you don't even recognise yourself anymore, this actually has a name. And I mean, it's an identity shift, and nobody warned you about it. So today I want to talk to you about something that doesn't get talked about enough, and that's what exactly happens to you inside when you go through a divorce after 40. Because the world tells you it's about splitting assets and who gets the house and the lawyer fees and all of that. And yes, that stuff is real and it's stressful. But what I also want to say is that the real thing that knocks you sideways, the thing that has you waking up at 3 a.m. not knowing who you are, is the identity shift. You see, you've been someone's wife for 10, 15, 20 years. That's not just a role. That's who you became. You built a whole life around that identity. Your routines, your friendships, your Sundays, your Christmas mornings. All of it was structured around being part of a pair. And then one day, you're not. And that's the confusing part. You might even be the one who chose to leave. But it still hits you like a sledgehammer, and it certainly hit me. Now, I want to share something with you from my own experience, really. And I'm not going to give you the whole story because, like I say, that's not what it's about. But what it is, there was this moment, and it was after the papers were signed, when I had my decree absolute. And it was actually during COVID. And after the house was sorted, we moved out, we went our separate ways. And everyone stopped asking how I was doing. And I was sitting in my kitchen on a Tuesday night eating some toast and having a cup of tea. And I suddenly thought, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Not like what's for dinner. I mean, what is my life now? Who am I in this? I remember that feeling being so much bigger than sadness. It was like disorientation, like the ground shifted and nobody told me it was going to. And what I want you to understand, that it is normal to feel that way. This is not you falling or even failing at being divorced. This is you processing an identity shift that nobody prepared you for. What I also want to say is that menopause and divorce together, that's a double identity shift. Your body is changing who you are, and your life is changing who you are. And you're standing in the middle going, who even am I now? And that's not a breakdown. That's a transition. But it feels like a breakdown because nobody told you it was coming. What if divorce after 40 isn't the end of who you are? What if it's the beginning of finding out who you actually are? Now, there's something I actually want to talk to you about, and that's the fact that in a lot of marriages, especially long ones, women emotionally clock out before they physically leave. And the research actually backs this up. Women start grieving the relationship before it ends. By the time you say, I'm done, you've already been through the hardest part emotionally. I certainly was. But here's what's confusing. You think that means you should feel relieved. You should feel free. And you do, sort of, for a bit. And then the identity collapses and it hits you again. Does that make sense? Like, why do I feel like I'm falling apart even though I've made a positive decision? Why does it feel kind of wrong and then kind of right at the same time? And the answer is you're just not with that partner anymore. You're losing a version of yourself and you are grieving a version of yourself, which is really normal. And you do go through the anger, you go through all the emotions you would with grief as you would lose anyone. So please give yourself permission to feel all them emotions and don't feel bad, don't feel confused. Just go with it, Be human. Feel the feelings even. And if any of this is landing with you right now, if you're in the space where everything feels like it's too much and you don't even know where to start putting yourself back together, I've created something for you. It's called the Midlife Energy Audit. It's a free worksheet, 7 pages, and it helps you figure out where your energy is actually going and where you need to start protecting it. The link is in the description of this video and it's also in the bio. It's no big deal, just a starting point. So, what actually helps with the identity shift? And I want to be honest with you here. This isn't about, go find yourself on a retreat or something or buy a new wardrobe. Those things can be nice, but they don't fix the foundation. What actually helps is this. First, you have to stop trying to replace the old identity straight away. You don't need a new version of yourself by next Tuesday. The space between who you were and who you're becoming, that's allowed. It's allowed to be feeling uncomfortable right now, but so be it. Secondly, you need to protect your energy like your life depends on it. Because right now, your energy is probably being drained by things you haven't even noticed. You might even have guilt or other opinions, people's opinions of things and obligations you took on when you were someone else's wife. The energy audit will help you see that. And thirdly, and this is the one I really want you to know, you are allowed to be different now. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to justify who you're becoming. Like I say, your circle is going to get smaller, and that's not a loss. That's clarity. I want you to know this. You're not broken because you feel lost. You're lost because something broke open, and that's not the same thing. So what I want you to do is to take this as simply as possible. Divorce after 40 is not just a relationship ending, it's an identity shift. And if you feel like you don't know who you are right now, that's not because something's wrong with you. That's because something is changing in you. And change, real change, always feels like falling apart before it feels like coming together. You're not broken. You're not behind, and you're not failing. You're responding to a life that needs a different way of living now, okay? So until next time, take care and stay blessed.